Welcome on today's conversation on the future of work, where AI isn't just a buzzword, but a business driver. This is Lenovo Work Reborn, live in Orlando.
Welcome to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast, where we meet senior IT and senior C-suite leaders like we have here. Alex, could you please tell us about your role and what you do?
Absolutely. I am a chief customer officer. I work with CIOs and CISOs and their teams to implement device management, employee experience solutions across their workforce, helping them to keep their company safe and productive.
That's so important. And I wanted to tie in a FIFA-themed icebreaker here because we are the technology partners for FIFA. And so with this conference that we have here, if your workforce at Fleet were a football team, I'm curious from your perspective, what position would AI play? Would it be goalkeeper, which is like defense, striker, innovation, or coach strategy?
I would take that in two phases. Right now, today, I would put AI in as a coach because AI is not really ready. It's kind of on the practice squad to be able to actually take a shot on goal or to defend the goal. We're getting there, and if you walk around here, you'll see agentic just about everywhere you look.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's quite ready to actually be on the field, be on the practice squad. But it's a good coach to help people that are on the field know how to play their position better. But here, I would put it only in the next 6 months or so. They'll be getting some time on the field. And I would put it just in the position I'm in. I would put it more on offense as a striker. Because, I think a lot about go-to-market strategies and how to be more aggressive in the market. And I think that AI can really, play a role in helping the team be on the forefront of going after new goals.
I want to get into that a little bit because you are in the C-suite of Fleet. So
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a bit more about how you are taking the insights from this conference and what are you looking to bring back to your team?
Yeah, so for me, it's about direction, strategy. What is top of mind with CIOs, with CISOs, as a product company working with them? I want to make sure that we're heading in a direction that's going to help us grow faster by helping them achieve their goals, right? So I'm all about seeing, how aggressive are people going into AI? Are they going to try to run all operations agentically in the next year or so? If so, then we need to think about it from a product perspective of building that kind of capability in or enabling it. I was just actually talking to somebody recently a few minutes ago here about the fact that we don't really do a lot of AI in our product. And they said that's actually kind of a relief.
I
Because
bet.
I'm worn out from all the AI around
Right.
here. Now what we do, and we work with a lot of big AI companies that everybody would know here, but they like how we provide data on the employee environment, on the employee computing environment, on the product computing environment. That can enable AI because AI really is going to only be as good as the data that it can operate on. And,
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
good data in, good data out,
yeah, and
right?
I'm getting a lot of good confirmation and talking to CIOs and CISOs that that data is absolutely critical. Like we need to know what's going on in our environment, in our computing environment, and be able to manage that more tightly. Today with AI as a coach, like we talked about earlier,
Okay.
and then in the next 6 months to a year with more AI agentic capabilities.
And so you're taking into this consideration about AI changing the nature of the workforce, but I see from what I hear is that you're not initially going all in on it. You're taking a step back, trying to see it from all perspectives without going too deep and not maybe getting a little lost because
Right.
then the data might be messed up, so to
Right.
say.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you are seeing this from your customer experience perspective, or from your experience working for the customers, how do you see the changes of AI with the people that you work with? Like, how are you communicating this to your customers?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I listen to them, and then I take what I hear from the more forward-thinking customers and turn that around and ask others what they think. So Fletcher Previn, the CIO of Cisco, talked a little bit this week about trying to be more forward-looking with his AI team. Mark Benioff talked about it in their product. What I have heard from some of the smartest people in this space is really having the data, back to that point, is actually one of the bottlenecks to being able to move forward, especially in the employee experience kind of realm.
Can you tell me more about that? Like, how is data a bottleneck? Is it good data is it finding that good data that's the bottleneck? Is it getting the right connections to the data that is the bottleneck? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, all the above.
Okay.
Yeah, all the above. And knowing where the data is, what it is, what data do I need to provide? I mean, it has been kind of like, what data do my people need? Now it's what data does my, AI system, I'll just call it that generically, need access to, and getting it that access, and then knowing what that is and making sure that it's being trained on, quote unquote, the right data, or the data that's going to be the most valuable to solve the problems that we're trying to solve. So then you got to go back to a little bit of first principles thinking and say, what is the problem that we're trying to solve?
Right.
And start from there, and then you can kind of build in the solution to, get access to the data, train the models on that data, and then build a system that can act on it, measure quality of it, and all at the same time hopefully have people that know what it's doing and can verify that it's doing the right thing. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I wanted to pivot a little bit and think about sustainability, because in the Lenovo Work Reborn report, we found that sustainability was one of the core topics of concern within the future of work. And I'm curious, when you measure the ROI of sustainability initiatives, and there are so many different initiatives that we can measure impact on, what are you thinking about? And then what you're hearing from the conference, like what do people care about from some of these initiatives, especially because AI uses so much computing power? What matters most? Cost reduction, engagement with the company, risk management, or is it really brand equity?
I think right now, when you put your business hat on, the thing driving decisions is going to be cost management. And I'm actually in the middle of a agentic AI course, MIT online course, where we just did an assignment on trying different tasks with different solutions, different AI solutions, different models, and the cost difference, which is a reflection of what kind of energy they're using in the background, what kind of computing power, and then power to power the computing is drastically different, like a couple of orders of magnitude different between different models. And so, when it comes to making short-term decisions in the business, 100-fold impact on cost is going to be something that the CFO and the CEO are going to drive you making the smart business decision. Now, bigger picture, strategic thinking people are going to also realize that, beyond that short term, like what's right for the business and the dollar is what's right for the world, hopefully, is what's right for the brand. And so I would then go secondarily into the brand equity that comes out of being able to be, open with the world and say, hey, we're being smart. We're not just going to consume power at will. We're going to be smart about how we do this and try to be efficient in a way that can be sustainable.
Lots of moving parts, I see.
Yeah, lots of moving parts.
As well.
I mean, it's a pretty big topic. I don't know if you know Charlie Barron's, the comedian from Wisconsin.
No, I don't.
No, he's
What did he say?
he's the brandy old-fashioned guy. Guy that doesn't like the Bears. It's all go Packers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Charlie is when he's joking about data centers coming to Wisconsin.
It resonates with you?
Yeah, it resonates with me, but
Yeah.
it also, I think, is now, means that that's hit mainstream. Like people are now thinking about, holy cow, like this, 2 mile by 2 mile data center is coming to my neck of the woods. It's going to be using all
Right.
the water in my area. They're going to maybe build a nuclear power plant next to it. It's definitely hitting mainstream. So, that's where now, from a brand equity perspective, it's in the mainstream. We need to be thinking about it as a business.
That is definitely something we want to be thinking about. And I want to thank you so much, Alex, for being on the podcast. And if you enjoyed this conversation and want to learn more about how Lenovo is bringing new life to the modern workplace, feel free to check out the description below for the Lenovo Work Reborn report. And if you are viewing this on YouTube right now, you can actually check out this QR code right here, scan it with your phone, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you so much, Alex.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us live in Orlando for this amazing episode of Work Reborn. I've been your host, Rita Risha, and it's been a pleasure to bring you insightful conversations from around the world, especially at this event, on how we are bringing new life to the modern workplace. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to stay tuned on more ways that we are doing just that, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe our channel, and download a copy of the Work Reborn report today.
Lenovo.